Okay, here we are with the next episode, which is episode 12.
A little bit later than we wanted it.
A little bit later than we wanted it, but better late than never.
Yep.
And once again, missing a member.
Matron, please.
I guess the
My little Tony wins out again.
Benson probably back in town, was it? Or was there something else he was doing? He's big into his music, so he might be doing a podcast about Coldplay, Kaiser Chiefs, and stuff like that.
He's fan.
He likes a bit of Coldplay, likes a bit of U2. Oh, who is it he likes? The Offspring and Green Day. I think he's
Green Day. Loves a bit of Green Day.
Blink 187.
Well, you know, each their own. Again, no judgment from this corner.
No, that's what he's into. So we wish him all the best on whatever he's in. And if he wants to jump back in here, I suppose we let him.
Listen.
We might have to have a chat and see.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just those two. So let's do it.
Starting off, we said we were going to start off with the Carlos Condit fight. That's what we started off last time.
Now, I'll admit, I didn't actually get to see this fight. Did you see it?
We did.
Give us.
Listen, I think Carlos, for me, there wasn't that sharpness there. He did walk forward, he marched down a lot, but he didn't really do enough when he got into the space. He looked to me to be a physically bigger man. I know he's taller. He didn't really get to oppose the size. Kind of the snap, the pop just didn't seem it was there. There was flashes of the old Carlos. I hate to say it, I think his best days are behind him, and Max Griffin got a unanimous decision.
I mean, it's difficult to argue with his last. I mean, you look at the last 8 fights on his record, and it's 6 fight skid, a win, a loss. It's.
So
I know records can be deceiving. I know sometimes you'll see losses on a fighter's career, and it'll either have been a close fight or could have gone either way. But there were a lot of. I mean, that was a tough skid he went on, and he was out of action for 2 years at one stage, wasn't he, or something like that?
Yeah.
Just before the Court McGee fight.
He was out a while. He just didn't really look himself.
See, this
I
has
would
been
say about Max Griffin as well. I don't really fancy him at welterweight. He looks undersized against a lot of your kind of more modern welterweights. Like
he's not even a particularly large lightweight.
Not really. He's 5'11". He just doesn't seem to have the bulk. Like if you put him up side by side, and listen, size and physicality isn't everything, but it certainly means something at the top level. When it gets to skill sets being really close, size and strength does mean something.
Of course,
physical resilience means something. If you pull him up beside some of the top welterweights, he looks badly undersized.
Yeah.
Like Usman, Covington, they look like guys that walk around at a lean 190, 195.
Yeah, they do.
They really diet, time things literally to perfection, cut and weight, cut it to the ounce, and then do their best to rehydrate up. Listen, we can do a show about weight cutting on its own. We've talked extensively about before, but you can see the physical size of some of the top. Like, listen, I know George Masvidal isn't the biggest welterweight either, but Max Griffin looks undersized. I can't pretend I'm the biggest fan. He's on a 3-fight win streak. It would be nice to see what's next from him. He has a TKO win against Ramiz Brahimaj. Don't know him. He got that nice KO against Son Keenan, and now he's a big name on his record, albeit in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
I would prefer to see Carlos maybe taking a look at himself and admitting that it's not quite there anymore. He's had a fantastic career. I think he won a lot of big fights.
He has some fantastic highlight reels to his name.
Amazing highlight reels. But I think the best days are behind him. I didn't really see him making any kind of.
I agree. I don't think I can't see any sound or productive reason why he should be taking more fights now.
No.
I think it's an unfortunate end, but it's the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. I
think he could eke out another 2 fights. I 100% guarantee you Dana would say he's earned it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Like, what's he going to do? He's going to fight someone. He's going to, it's not even a gatekeeper situation.
No.
He's going to be thrown to these young, hungry, 20-odd-year-old mixed martial artists coming in to make a name for themselves.
His career, look at it. He was a WEC, the last WEC welterweight champion, 3 successful title defenses, undefeated in WEC. He had 1 fight of the night. He was the UFC interim welterweight champion, 5-time fight of the night winner, and 2-time knockout of the night winner.
Yeah.
So, he's a massive wealth of experience and performance behind him.
Yeah.
He's had 46 mixed martial arts fights. He's had a couple of 4 kickboxing fights and even a boxing fight. But I think the reality is his time as a big draw. I think it's done.
And not even as a big draw. Even taking the big draw out of it as a
competitive,
as a viable competitor in the sport. I think it's and it's not the sort of sport we all know. It's not the sort of sport you can hang around on the sidelines in.
No, it really isn't.
You can't dip your toes in or coast your gears out.
No, and I'm not doubting his commitment. I'm not doubting that he trains as hard as he's ever done, and his desire is probably still there.
Yeah, but it's what he's physically viable of doing.
His body just doesn't seem to be the click, the crack, just the flow, the time, and everything just seemed that little bit off. And at this level, a little bit may as well be a mile.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a kind of a bittersweet end. I think. I hope it's the end in a good way.
Yeah.
But it's slightly bittersweet, I have to say.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I think we said before we're both huge fans of his. John is as well.
Yeah.
I think we probably all picked him. Did we?
I picked Conda. You and John picked Griffin.
We went with Griffin. Yeah, I just thought maybe his time.
Yeah.
His time was up, and I take no joy from being right there. I loved watching his fights, but I do think it's done and dusted for him.
Yeah. Okay. Then go for it. Then the first fight on the main card.
Sean O'Malley, Chris Mucino.
Yep.
Listen,
Chris Mucino, very much a last minute replacement in the bantamweight division. This fight, and Sean O'Malley going into this fight had a whopper, a 4-inch reach advantage.
Yeah. Listen, he utilised that for the most part. He landed crisp shots. I think the percentage he landed at was above 70 or 80%.
Oh, it was mad. It was off the scale. I think it might have been the highest differential in strikes, possibly in I don't know whether it's in the history of the sport, but definitely the history of that division.
Yeah. He did everything that you expected. He was sharp. He was fast. I would say this. I would say Chris Mucino definitely deserves another fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
His chin is unbelievable.
It is. Now we've also me and you have agreed that's not necessarily always a good thing. It's certainly not. It's certainly not what you would want to rely on as your major.
Definitely not. But weapon. I think there's more to him.
There definitely is.
I think there's more to him.
On saying that, I agree with you.
His desire to win. He never looked like he just thought, well, I'm getting fucking shit beaten out of me here.
He constantly went for it. However, I do agree with you. That's probably not. We're not seeing the full scale of his talents.
No.
However,
Definitely.
what I will say is he didn't show a lot of sides.
He didn't really. I think. Listen, I think it was a lose for him. I think physically he looks like he could make 125. Now maybe I'm wrong, but I think he could. I think with a full camp behind him, with the sharpness of a full camp behind him, he would be. Listen, if his skills match
If his
anywhere
skills match
near
his stamina,
I mean, he didn't seem to get tired. If his skills match anywhere near his stamina, his toughness, and his willingness to get through adversity, he's going to be a problem for about anyone in the division.
Yep, big time.
Listen, we've seen O'Malley stopping people dead with one shot.
He never stopped pushing forward from the beginning of round 1 to the end of round 3.
Yeah, and
he just went forward.
I'm going to say this: it was a bad stoppage.
Okay.
I don't care what anyone says. He's on his feet. He's throwing punches back, and before people say, too tough for his own good. Unfortunately, that's the business that he's in.
Yeah.
This isn't football.
Yeah.
It's not any of these sports. These are different human beings, and I think it robbed him of that old school mentality.
I stayed in to the end.
You didn't put me down. You didn't finish me. You didn't listen. I would 100% say if he wasn't defending himself, he's getting lit up and he's unsteady on his feet, stop the fight.
Yeah.
Fine. He wasn't unsteady on his feet. He was taking shots, but he was clearly conscious.
He's still there.
And he was still throwing punches.
I definitely agree with you. It was a weird decision.
Fight because you think someone is going to lose. This is the one sport in the world, and combat sports are the only sports in the world where you can lose 4 minutes. You can lose 2 rounds, 10-8. You can be losing the third one on the way to losing at 10-8, and it could be 10 seconds left, and you can win the fight.
Yeah,
that's unique.
Yeah. Look, Anderson Silva against Chael Sonnen.
Yeah,
that's the
literally
example.
If you're down 40 points in rugby and it's in the last minute, you've lost.
Yeah.
If you're 4-0 down going into the last minute of a football game, you're done.
Yeah.
You can literally have lost every second of every minute of every round and win it
in the last 10 seconds or whatever. Yeah.
So I don't like it when there's a stoppage where someone is clearly defending themselves.
Yep.
Like, listen, if you don't like, and I don't mean to be kind of old schoolish about it, but if you don't like watching someone getting beaten up, this is the wrong sport for you.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Listen, I'm 99.9% sure he was losing the fight and he wasn't going to stop O'Malley. That's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. You don't know that he's going to lose. You don't know he's going to knock him out.
To play devil's advocate slightly, I noticed some people were in comments were saying there was only, I can't remember how much time was left, say 40 seconds or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. People were saying there was only 40 seconds. Herb Dean should have let it go for 40 seconds.
To me, the time is irrelevant.
Yeah, the time in that situation, the referee should have no idea how much time is left on
100%. There was a famous fight many years ago, 1996, I think, maybe. One for me, probably the greatest boxer, or certainly top 2 that ever come out of Mexico. Julio Cesar Chavez was fighting a guy called Meldrick Taylor. At the time, I think Julio Cesar Chavez's record was something like 89-1. You're talking about an unbelievable fighter. Anyway, he's losing this fight against Meldrick Taylor badly. He's down on all the scorecards. He knocks Meldrick Taylor down in the final 45 seconds of the last round. Taylor gets up. He punishes him against the ropes, and the referee stops it with like 7 seconds left or something like that. People say 7 seconds, he's going to win the title. The referee quite rightly said, I'd no fucking idea how much time is left. My focus was on the safety of the fighter. He wasn't defending himself anymore. He's taking hard shots. I wasn't prepared to let him take one more.
Yeah, that's the only slight defense I would have. But I think I side more with you in the idea that Martino was still in the fight. He was taking shots, but he didn't look. I wasn't thinking, oh man, he's out. No. I was thinking, Jesus.
Listen, is he too tough for his own good? Quite possibly.
Possibly.
he makes that call and his coaches make that call.
Yeah.
Yes, the referee is there to protect the fighter 100%. And sometimes he's there to protect the fighter from himself.
Yeah.
But he's not there to decide that he's decided this person has lost the fight that he's still in.
Yes.
He's on his feet. He's conscious. He's throwing strikes.
He's moving forward, technically.
He's moving forward. So I thought it was bad. Listen, O'Malley did everything that was expected of him.
Yeah.
He looked sharp. His combination strikes were fantastic. His movement.
What do you think of the argument that it's slightly, I wouldn't say worrying, but the fact that O'Malley could not put him away, does that speak more about his toughness or O'Malley's lack of stopping power?
No, I think it's more his toughness, because I think if we look at O'Malley, he's proved his stopping power, 14 wins, 10 knockouts.
Yeah.
He's only been to decision 3 times. His amateur record is 2 knockouts there as well.
He was trying.
Oh, yeah.
He was putting everything into a lot of those combos.
Before that, he had a KO against Thomas Almeida, KO punch Thomas Almeida, KO punch Eddie Wine, TKO Jose Alberto Quinez, and he's another on the KO on the Contender Series. No, I think he came up against someone who on the night, listen, maybe his chin isn't normally that good, I don't know, but on that night, he was that up for it. He wasn't going to be the night shot that he was putting a show on.
I'd be interested to see what he's like now with a full camp 100%. And full preparedness behind him, like
100%. And he deserves it. Dana White doesn't give him another fight. That's madness.
I don't relish being his next opponent.
No,
because
I think O'Malley broke his hands or something like that. Did he? Or he had to get scans on his hands or something like that.
Now that's another weird one, because
his medical suspension is longer than Munchino's, I think.
Well, then he might have damaged his fist off him.
Yeah.
Because O'Malley's had a couple of those setbacks.
Yeah.
Hasn't he?
Punchers have that.
Yeah.
Joe Calzaghe, who wouldn't even be regarded as a puncher, but he was a decent puncher. Bad hands. Who else? There's loads of fighters over the years. Bad hands. Just the heavy punchers.
Yeah.
You see him, Hammett, I think, had bad hands.
I mean, okay, good win for O'Malley.
Good win.
I mean, a solid performance.
He got a good workout.
Yeah.
His accuracy was fantastic. Yeah. His combinations were very, very good.
Yeah.
Not much you can fault him on.
No,
he looked like
very evasive.
He looked like he was gassing a little bit at times. A little bit.
I don't think he was expecting to run into a wall like Coutinho.
Massive output.
Yeah. Okay, what's next? Oh, the next one was the ladies, wasn't it? It was Yana Kunitskaya against Irene Aldana at bantamweight, ranked 5 and 4 respectively. Aldana missed weight.
Yeah, pretty badly. 139
3.5 pounds.
Yeah,
that's a big miss, isn't it?
I hate when that happens. 3.5 pounds is a lot.
30% of your purse before you've even stepped into the ring, gone.
Yeah. I think me and John might call that one right. I think we both thought that if there was stoppage power there, it was going to be with her. She looked good. The shine is taken off of the fact that you missed weight.
Yeah.
You're kind of screwing yourself, because what confidence is someone going to have booking your next fight when you've missed weight?
What did you think of Kunitskaya? Kunitskaya. I noticed something, and I made a note of it there. How can I say this? So she was setting up, right? She was throwing a lot of different kicks from the very start.
Yeah.
She was throwing a lot of different kicks. She was throwing side kicks, lower leg, front leg kicks, all that kind of stuff. She was doing this thing where she was setting up her kicks and then immediately after the kicks, charging in to get to the clinch.
Yeah.
Closing the distance. But
it was quite sloppy though.
It was that takedown attempt that we've all seen from people who weren't natural wrestlers, where they put their head down and just charge forward from about 10 feet out.
Yeah.
And it was almost bizarre looking. It was very, from someone who was putting in fantastic kicks and combos, and then kind of rushing in, head down, hands out with a strange.
Yeah.
like rudimentary takedown attempt.
It did kind of seem like she didn't really have much of a game plan.
Yeah.
Or she definitely wasn't sticking to one.
I think she would have been better off staying at kicker's range.
100%.
She just consistently ran into the clinch where she was getting out-muscled.
Yeah. And ultimately, it was the grappling exchanges that opened up the...
I mean, Aldana looked... Out of the two fighters, even though Kunitskaya was quite aggressive, Aldana looked very calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Now, whether that had anything to do with not having to go through the stress of weight cut,
yeah.
I mean, we won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
She could probably tell us, but
she has to know though. The shine is taken off with a
it
weight.
Is, of course. It is. Yeah, absolutely.
3.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Is that the first time she's missed weight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. But anyway, early in round one, Aldana landed a couple of lovely shots from close range, including a lovely left body shot that I think took a bit of wind out of Kunitskaya. And then she leaned forward, thrown a jab, and Aldana landed a straight left that took her straight off her feet, where she got a bit of ground and pound in, got at the side position, pinned the arm, and then kind of just the shots were there for the taking before the ref jumped in.
The thing is as well, and it's not shitting on either of them, Amanda Nunes would fucking murder them.
I think Amanda Nunes would beat both of them at the same time.
Just
again, this is the golf and skill we've been talking about. Even if Aldana was allowed to walk in at 140,
not happening for her. If she was out going at 145, sure. Nunes is champ there as well. She'd kill her.
Exactly.
The golfing skill and how well-rounded Nunes is, how aggressive she is, how powerful she is.
Yeah.
It kind of makes, not that it makes you not invested in the rest of the division, but you really want someone that's going to make you take notice.
Yeah, but the problem is that because the gulf is so big, any of the other women against each other, it's so difficult to gauge how they would look against Nunes sometimes. Because you see the two in the fighting and you go, oh, that was actually quite good. And then they get thrown in with a Nunes and you go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
They're not even in the same... in the same league at all.
Yeah.
But okay, the shine was taken off it. Yeah, I have to 100% agree. But I mean, getting past that, technically, it was a solid win for Aldana.
Solid win. Yeah.
There was nothing that Kunitskaya threw at her that bothered her. She was very calm, very composed. She was able to outmuscle her. Again, these are all points that could be offset with the weight issue. She landed some nice shots from close range, and as soon as it went to the ground, she just kind of pinned her arm and just pummeled her. So
I don't see Kunitskaya hanging around the top 5 for long.
Neither do I. Not off the back of that.
No.
Not off the back of that win. I don't either.
No.
I mean, I don't know who I would match her up against.
No, I don't either. But she could go. Some fighters take a loss really well. They go away. They reevaluate.
Yeah.
I think the losses that like Poirier, I talked this last time, Holloway, and somebody has suffered made them
come back
way
on an absolute rip.
Yeah. So who knows? But I think the gulf in skill between the champion and any of the would-be challengers is massive.
Yes.
The female bantamweight.
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah. Okay. So the next fight.
Greg Hardy.
Yep. Greg Hardy versus Tai
Tuivasa. Really stiff.
Yeah.
Weekend exchanges.
Hardy had a 5.5-inch reach advantage, which is a whopper of a reach advantage.
For me, it looks like it is a massive reach advantage. For me, it looks like his top half and his bottom half don't move together. There's like a disconnect when he's throwing a punch. It's like it's already out there, and then his body starts reacting to it.
He's not what you would call a natural striker.
Definitely not. And I actually think that people that come in from sports like American football and rugby would be the skills would pass over much better the wrestling element.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And as well, the size, like he's massive.
He's a big dude.
Enormous. That the top game he could have if he put you on your back. The pressure he could exert, and I'd say he's massive. But he's very stiff in the striking exchanges. Obviously at that size, if he lands clean, he's going to hurt you. If he doesn't land clean, if he just lands something, he's going to hurt you.
And he did. He did land.
He did. But like what me and John were saying the last time was, you saw the difference between an athlete and a fighter. A fighter knows you don't rush in on someone that you clipped.
Yeah.
You work in, you pick your shots, you don't rush them.
Yeah.
Because like that, a fighter would know that when they get hurt, they lash out.
Yes. Which
is exactly what happened. He runs into a left hook.
I mean, even going back to the very start, I thought it was very interesting. Tai Tuivasa immediately went straight to the leg kicks.
Yeah.
And hefty ones. Hefty leg kicks.
Yeah.
And I think that was telling. Because of a couple of things. One, he was obviously quite well aware that there was a 5-inch reach advantage on Hardy's side. And lashing someone's leg kicks out of it means that them closing the distance and being able to get something off at you at range becomes much more difficult for them. To pick those leg kicks were telling Hardy, if you want to pick me off at that 5-inch reach advantage, you're paying for it with your leg.
Paying for it with your leg, yeah.
Which possibly led to Hardy deciding to charge in when he thought you had Tuivasa wobbled.
Yeah, I don't think it was a conscious decision.
Possibly it could have been instinct.
I think it's just that overexcitement of instinct. Yeah. Not like, oh, he's hurt, okay, and he went rushing in. I don't know if he's going to really make a splash in the top 10. He got, and if you look at it, listen, if Tai Tuivasa hits it with anything, he's going to hurt you badly. Yeah. He hits extremely hard. It was a punch more to the eye, and he wasn't out at that point, but his reaction to the punch wasn't great. I don't know if he'll ever get used to being hit. And I doubt his credentials really are going to carry him into the top 10.
There's too many holes in his skill set at that weight.
And he doesn't seem to be getting that much better.
You know what they say about heavyweights, the margin for errors are just
so small.
Razor thin.
And listen, Tuivasa, there's no taking away. Tuivasa hits like a truck. He really does. Yeah. Extremely powerful.
Yeah.
But so is everyone in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't see the evolution happening at a rate that would make me think he's going to break into the top 5 anytime soon. Isn't good win for Tuivasa?
Absolutely. Nice KO to have.
I think he's a character. I like fighters like that, especially in the heavyweight division. Guys that on their night they can stop anyone because they carry big power in their hands. They're explosive, a little bit unpredictable. They have their flaws, but ultimately they're good to watch.
Yeah.
Good win.
Yep. All right. Next. This was the fight I was least looking forward to.
Yeah, wasn't great.
I've said it before. I've said it a million times. I like Stephen Thompson. He seems like a nice bloke. I find him. He just doesn't make for an exciting fight. There's times where I watch. Now, obviously, he has these KOs and he has these great performances, but there's sometimes I find it just mind numbing watching the karate bouncing on the toes.
And listen, to be fair to Gilbert, I don't think he looked great, Gilbert. But I think the other thing is, I don't think anyone.
And remember, Gilbert Burns is ranked number 2.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't think anyone looks great against Thompson.
No, and I said that as well when we were talking, we're making our picks. I think it's it's very, very difficult, even when you win. And this is what I said: even when you win, coming out of a fight against someone like Thompson, he can still make you look like dog shit.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, listen, I think Burns, for me anyway, he didn't show me anything that would make me want to see him fight Usman again. I think on his day he could cause Usman problems because he knows him so well.
Yeah.
From the training time together, he did hurt Usman, and probably the first person that's put him under any pressure since he lost to Warley Alves back in whenever 6 years ago. I think he needs to catch up ground there. He needs to close the gap skill-wise between him and Usman. And I don't think that fight did a whole lot for him. As for Thompson, I don't think he did himself many favors either.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to be clamoring to see him fight again? Not really. Listen,
again, I have to reiterate, these are the ranked 2 and ranked 4 welterweights.
Yeah. Thompson, to me, should be outside the top 5 now after that loss.
I think so. Thompson could very well find himself being a top 10 gatekeeper.
He could, yeah. He really could. He's just... it's fine being so that technically good, but if you're not stopping people or hurting people, or, if it's these, like, split decision win, split decision loss, decision win, decision loss, they're boring as fuck.
Yeah.
You're like, what is your end game? If your end game is to get to a title shot, eking out split decisions here and there and dropping decisions here and there,
so that's not getting you a title shot.
And on his performance, listen, stylistically he would definitely be awkward for Usman, but on that performance, I see Usman just getting him out there inside the 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think he would. I really do.
Like, listen, sometimes people, who's a better striker? Listen, Stephen Thompson, 100 times out of 100, is a better striker than Carmo.
On paper.
On paper. If they had a karate style or kickboxing style fight, Thompson would win. Yeah. This is not kickboxing or karate. Yeah. What Usman has developed is he's developed into a very, very effective striker.
Yeah.
He lands punches. Are they all beautiful? No. It doesn't matter.
Effective.
They're effective, and he lands them, and he lands them powerfully. He's developed into a consistent finisher. He starched Masvidal. Masvidal is a very, very competent boxer and has good kicks and good movement within the stand-up realm. He put him fucking cold.
Yep.
He's turned into a very, very effective striker. He lands his punches. He manages his distance well, and he fights within a skill set, but his skill set, especially with his hands, has gotten significantly better over his last 4 fights.
Yeah, I think
Thompson doesn't look like he's evolved at all.
No.
I can't see any difference in Thompson's game in the last 6 fights.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff all the time. And
I don't know where this leaves
Thompson. Why are you doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Where's the evolve? Where's the evolution?
Yeah, I don't know where this leaves him now, to be honest with you. I'm glad I'm not Joe Silva trying to come up with an opponent for him. I don't know where this leaves him.
To do something.
But that's what I'm saying. I fully believe he's going to end up a top 10 gatekeeper. Because what are they going to throw at him? They're going to throw at him new fighters who want to break the top 10. That's what they're going to have to get past Thompson. And I think that's what's going to happen. Burns, where does that leave Burns, though? Rank number 2, just beat rank number 4.
Yeah. I didn't see anything there that would make me think that a fight against Usman would go any differently. I think he needs at least one more win and a good win.
Yeah.
Who to give him? I don't know.
Who is at the moment ranked 1 in the welterweight division?
I think it's Colby Covington.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Would he get Covington, or does Covington even want him?
Oh, I actually think they're actually due to fight.
Burns and Covington.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed that then.
No, sorry, Usman and Covington.
Oh.
Yeah. So Kamaru's 1, Usman, Colby's 2, Burns is 3, Leon Edwards is 4.
Okay.
5 is Thompson, 6 is Chiesa, Vincent Luque, Jorge Masvidal, Neil Magny.
It's weird, isn't it? The welterweight top 5, 6, 7. It's a little bit of a mess, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
There's a couple of fighters in there that are coming off weird fights, and Leon Edwards and stuff. There's a bit of a, I don't know. And Colby Covington hasn't won a fight against a top 10 opponent in a while. And
no, Colby has.
Well, who is his last win?
His last win was Woodley. I suppose Woodley's
when was
gone.
that?
Yeah, that was 2020, September.
Yeah, you see, there's a bit of a weird. I think that top 5, top 7 kind of needs to a little bit of earning out now over the next year.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see the dust settle now. I have a funny feeling that Usman is going to kind of put a bit of a stamp on it, and I think we're going to see Usman retiring earlier than we're expecting.
Yeah, he's on a massive win streak. I mean, his only loss was back in 2013.
He's going to shut Covington up, and then he's going to be like Nunes, where the next couple of people in line aren't going to have a fucking patch on him.
Yeah. So his last 4 fights: TKO, Colby Covington, decision win, Jorge, TKO, Gilbert Burns, KO, Masvidal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Anyway, victory for Max Griffin for what's his name?
Gilbert Burns.
Burns, yeah. It's hard to say anything else about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's difficult to say look great.
Win.
Just win.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the main event.
Main event.
In all its weirdness.
What do you say? Listen, again, putting aside whatever feelings I may or may not have against about either of the fighters. Nobody wants to see a fight end like that.
No. For whatever reason, it's not the sort of way you want to see a fight end, regardless.
No. I think he fought angry or annoyed. I didn't see any real control there.
Yeah.
Didn't see any calmness.
No.
He didn't look particularly loose.
No.
He was lashing in the leg kicks, but he didn't seem to be placing them really. If it's true that the ankle was injured going into the fight, it was a stupid thing to do, and it showed that he wasn't thinking clearly. He was thinking with kind of a spite or an uncontrolled aggression. Because if your right hand is bothering you, you're going to have to be very, very specific and careful and selective in where you're going to use it.
Yeah.
I thought, listen, the reality is, he fucked away the best part of a career in which he could have been setting records that may have never been beaten.
Yeah.
He did that. That's just the absolute reality of it. He's trying to play catch up now. Will he ever be able to catch up and get a couple of marquee wins? I'm struggling to say it. Despite my own feelings about him, he probably is one of the only person who could do it. Because he doesn't get enough respect for how good he actually is.
I agree. However, I think we would both agree. I don't see you disagreeing with this. In that fight, he was the one on the receiving end of stuff in those exchanges.
Oh yeah. His head movement wasn't with it.
Poirier was unfazed by anything he was doing, including the leg kicks.
Yeah.
Poirier was unfazed. I think it's very similar to the Anderson Silva thing, where the kind of mystique has broken.
Yeah.
And the formula for defeat has been discovered.
Well, not only the formula for the defeat, I think deep down, like the likes of Poirier knows that Poirier has done nothing but focus on fighting constantly, and he knows that McGregor hasn't done that.
Yeah.
No, he knows with confidence he's all those hours logged in the gym, all those classes, all those jiu-jitsu matches, all the sparring sessions, the strength and conditioning sessions, the early mornings, the sore body, the misery. He doesn't have someone handing him a bottle of water, driving behind them while he does a cycle to make sure no one talks to him or some fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Any of that. Poirier has made, I'm sure, quite a lot of money, but he hasn't let that. He's not running his training camp.
Yeah.
And I think McGregor runs his own training camp.
Yeah.
I think John Cavan is there to oversee it. I think Owen Roddy's there to supplement it. But I think who makes the decisions really is Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's
a recipe.
Not a smart decision for a fighter to be doing that.
Recipe for disaster. But he's so wealthy now and so high profile. I think he just can't imagine being told, "Listen, we're doing this now. Let's do this." I think I could be completely wrong, but I think he gets to choose what he does, when he does, what he works on. I think he's thrown away the best years he had, and he could have really set records that no one would break for years. I think Khabib was beatable for him. I think he looked like dog shit against Khabib, and I think Khabib didn't look great against him. But Khabib was there for the taking for him. If he continued to evolve, and he didn't. He took the best years he had off. Can he come back from this and be relevant other than, and when I say relevant, I mean relevant purely from a fighting point of view, not relevant because he's famous. I really don't know. Poirier is probably the best lightweight of the world. Like the way the fight ended was unfortunate, but as you say, can't take anything away from Poirier.
No, absolutely not. Poirier looked fantastic. McGregor made a lot of bizarre choices in that fight. The main one being, I think, again, me and you probably noticed that immediately when it happened, was diving for that guillotine. What a bizarre! If you had told me McGregor's going to go for a guillotine, I can see it happening in that fight, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, "What are you talking about? Why would he do that?"
You know what? Weirdly, the only good thing he did that was anyway kind of clear was the elbows from the guard.
Actually, he did land a few nice elbows from the guard.
About it, like his control of distance didn't seem to be there anymore.
Didn't seem to be great.
It seemed to be that fluid. It was like he was trying to be fluid. He was trying to do that outside of that move. I don't think
it wasn't putting Poirier off.
No,
which is where 90% of the strength of doing that comes from.
Yeah,
you put your opponent off. Your opponent is wondering your timing and your movement is weird. But Poirier stayed very just calm and relaxed and just waited for it to happen.
And in case anyone's watching, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's worth commenting on the remarks he made after the fight. I think
I don't.
Not only did he listen, I'd like to say with a straight face that he let himself down by saying that.
Yeah.
But I think anyone that's living in Ireland has heard all of the rumors and have seen his behavior. I don't think we were all that surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
listen. I'm a realist. This is fighting. We don't all have to be nice to each other. We don't all have to get on.
Yeah.
We don't all have to be a nice, responsible, well-balanced person. Fine.
No.
Tell each other you're cunt, fuck you, abuse each other. I'm not going to be upset by that. I've no real interest in seeing someone act the way he acted.
Yeah.
I don't think I just don't. Like, it just shows, to me, it shows a lot of the character that has, I'll put it this way, any martial arts coach that I know of wouldn't let any student of theirs behave.
No, of course. Yeah.
And I get it. He's a high profile, very wealthy professional. Just
if you look at it from that point of view, then you would imagine a coach of let's take the fame completely out of it. Let's imagine Conor McGregor is a nobody fighting out of some little gym in the middle of, let's go back to the 20 years ago, Harold's Cross, straight glass gym, and he's fighting on the local circuit, and something like that happens. And
Cavan is kicking him in his gym.
And he starts shouting, your wife is sending me fucking text messages.
Yeah.
The coach will go, listen, if you want to talk like you're scrapping in the middle of O'Connell Street, go somewhere else. Yeah. And that's the reality of it. That's what a coach would do.
100%.
The fact of the matter is, it came down to it, that sort of mouthiness after you've been clearly outgunned.
Yeah.
It's tacky, tactless.
And you know what? If he really believes what he said about he was getting the head boxed off him and that,
that's just nonsense.
You're living it like it just shows your connection to your reality is slipping, because anyone that watched that fight seen Poirier getting the best of the exchange.
There was no part of that fight where he was boxing the head off Poirier. No.
And I don't know. Kavanagh was talking about the second round, we were confident we were going to make our adjustments. I don't know. I don't see that second round. I don't see how that would have played out. And again, I could be wrong. You could have gone.
I don't know why you would wait to the second round to be making your adjustments.
Yeah.
If you had a decent game plan, I mean, whatever the game plan was, if that was what it wasn't working in round one anyway, regardless of the stoppage. Why you would let round one go like that and be hoping to make your adjustments and everything. Yeah. Maybe that was just coach talk to the media. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the way they do it.
I think. Listen, I'm not going to. Listen, I'm not going to talk about McGregor because I think the reality is Poirier is who we should be talking about. Poirier has been over the last 6 years he's looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal. We've both both of us were fans of when he fought McGregor the first time.
Yep.
I've been a fan of him since. I think the way he handles his defeats makes him the fighter he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't come around and make excuses or come out with these ridiculous. He caught me. He did this. He was better than me on the night. And he goes and he gets better and he learns.
Yeah.
Look his fights against Alvarez, his fights against Gaethje, Dan Hooker. I can't wait to see him and Charles.
Yeah,
could be a fucking cracker. And I'll have to look into it more and do me an analysis. But I probably fancy Poirier, to be honest.
Yeah, I would. At the moment, Poirier is looking like a world beater.
Yeah.
He's looking like the one to beat, and he's looking like the one that the rest of that division should be taking very fucking close notice of.
Yeah. Really can't wait to see him and Charles. Charles is no joke either.
No, absolutely. He's this is lightweight division is a division of killers, which makes you think if McGregor comes back, if he comes back, who knows what's waiting for him?
Yeah.
And even more experienced Poirier.
Top 10, someone top like number 10, 8, 9, 10, beating him, or what are we going to see?
Not even top 10.
Is he willing to take a fight against number 10 and then number 8 and then number 6? Is he willing to do what
he's going to be doing? He's going to be going for the rematch. That's obviously what he's going to be gunning for when he comes back. Whether he gets that or not is a different matter, because by the time he gets back, Poirier could have the belt, and I don't think he deserves an immediate title shot.
Definitely
just because it's a rematch.
Definitely.
He may have to fight ranked 10, 8, 7, and then ranked 2 or 3, whatever it might be to steps. I don't know whether McGregor has it in him.
No.
And I know that's a weird thing to say because he's still young and he's still technically at the peak of his career. But I think the shine is after going off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a fame media way. What I mean is the mystique has tarnished slightly.
Yeah.
I don't think the division is as worried about him as they were at the start.
Yeah.
We all know what happened at the start. He burned his way into the sport. He blazed the path to glory. But you know what they say about blazing the path to glory, that fire can die very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think we might be seeing the decline.
Big time.
I think it's very possible McGregor might have 1 or 2 fights in him, and that might be it.
I think
who am I to question? I don't know.
He'll do a bit of boxing and he'll melt off and he'll make a load of money and
possibly.
But listen, I'm gonna focus on the winner. I think Poirier looked fantastic, and I can't wait to see him fight.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, I cannot wait to see Poirier fight again.
It's gonna be a cracking fight.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big fight.
You can't dismiss the fact that he's a class act as well.
Class.
That makes you want to see him fight again. I mean, 100%. He did after the fight, he did the Justin Wren's Fight for the Forgotten, which is a pretty underground and not very well known charity.
Yeah.
For the pygmies.
The pygmies in
building wells and stuff like that.
It's not Papua New Guinea or something.
It's not what they call a sexy charity. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's not super high profile.
He's 100% all class.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And listen, again, like I said, we don't all have to be nice guys. It's fighting. It attracts kind of unbalanced people. That's by the nature of it. But it doesn't mean we can't respect the fact that he is all class. And he didn't have an easy upbringing. He didn't have an easy life. He didn't have an easy road into the sport. He fought and scratched and
never made any excuses for his losses.
Never made any excuses. So listen, it's been enjoyable watching him grow. It's brilliant watching him fighting.
Yep.
He's there to win every.
I cannot wait. I think we're after seeing, as I said, a little bit of the shine go off McGregor. I think we may have seen Poirier. We may have witnessed Dustin Poirier stealing a little bit of that shine.
Yeah.
Because I think he's, as I said, I think he's the one that the division have all eyes on right now.
Yeah, big time. Listen, any mixed martial artists at that level, they all know by looking at him. They all know from their own training, their own skills, their own fights, how good Poirier is.
Yeah.
How well-rounded he is, how tough he is, how hard. Because you know what, I was looking at his boxing. He throws things from kind of angles that are awkward, and his in-fighting is like rough and tumbling.
Yeah.
His head movement is underrated. It's not classic boxing head movement, but he's kind of dipping as he's punching, and he's moving. He's not as easy to hit anymore. He's over his last few fights,
and he's hitting you on the back foot as well.
And he's no problem. He's still, his chin is still very, very good, and he can still take shots. But he's definitely, his head movement has improved. He hasn't stopped improving. He's continuing.
No, his accuracy is still absolutely top level.
So I can't wait to see him and Charles real top level clash. A real that classic Thai kickboxing style with unbelievable jiu-jitsu against the kind of a more heavy-handed, rough and tumble, maybe not quite as smooth, but equally technically within his own right, with his own skill set, excellent. Great submissions as well, great on the ground, tough, resilient. I think maybe the resilience might be edging a little bit more on Poirier's side.
Oh, absolutely. I would have immediately said Poirier has the upper hand on grit, resilience, just willingness to kind of
see through a bad situation.
He's going to get burned walking through the fire kind of thing.
But listen, that's for another day. But I can't wait to see him fight. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think sometimes we talk in general MMA. We talk way too much about McGregor. Let's wait and see if he ever comes back.
Yeah, I think he's kind of he's off the table at the moment. I think it's only fair to talk,
about who's relevant and who's fighting.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the wrap up of 264. Very quickly, I'm going to run through our scores, our predictions, right?
Yeah.
So, John I'm giving a point if you pick the fighter. Mm-hmm. I'm giving a point if you pick the round, and I'm giving a point if you pick the technique or the stoppage, whatever. So, John picked Max Griffin. He gets 1 point for that. Didn't pick a round. He picked TKO. He picked O'Malley. Gets a point for that. Picked Aldana, and he picked TKO. That's that. He picked Tuivasa. He picked KO. He picked Thompson, so he doesn't get that. And he picked Poirier, and he picked TKO, and he picked round 1. So John gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. Mark picked McGregor by stoppage. Doesn't get anything for that. You picked Burns by decision. You picked Tuivasa by KO. You picked Aldana, but you picked her by submission. You picked O'Malley, but you picked him by KO, and you picked Griffin. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. I picked McGregor.
O'Malley was a KO, wasn't it?
Huh?
O'Malley was a KO.
It was, I think O'Malley was a TKO win, wasn't it?
Same thing. Potato.
Okay, well then I'll give you a point for that.
Yup.
So John gets 10, you get 8.
10?
Yep.
Jesus.
I picked Burns, but I picked by submission. I picked Tuivasa by KO round 1.
Did I not get him round 1 as well, no?
No, you picked round 2.
Horse try.
I picked Kunitskaya, so I don't get anything like that. I picked O'Malley. KO, and I picked Conde, so I don't get him for that. So I only got 6. Brutal.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Brutal. So John Ladd is in the lead.
Well, the My Little Pony stuff was obviously paying off.
Yeah, it must be. So he's managing whatever free time he has. He's managing to fit in My Little Pony and UFC. Well, for some, having 2 hobbies, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's missing a game tonight, so he probably has something else going on.
Yeah. John, we'll have to get eyes on.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what he's been up to.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so
All right.
we'll leave it there, and we'll talk soon enough about the next one.
Yep.
All right, see you after.